have to go watch MVP versus DeMarco on Newkirk. It is a must watch, and prepare yourself with some food and drinks, because it did take quite a while to go through. It was quite a long game, but definitely worth a watch. And as we can see, Stephano third base, and will be wanting to get into gas, as mentioned earlier, and a second gas, because he'll want to start to upgrade himself.
Yeah. And interestingly enough, he was committing a bit more to the evolution chambers before this third base in the previous series, but now with that economical focus once again here for Stephano, as well as the ability to just have more lava at his disposal in general, is eventually going to create for a pretty cool, again, offensive or defensive abilities.
All right, so MVP's opening up with the standard build in Terran versus Protoss. 3 command centers, Hellion production, over to a barracks and stim will start now. And then usually what we see from this point is double engineering base come down so he can upgrade himself. Like he knows Stephano will be doing is the double evolution chambers that come down. Textbook opening by both players.
And because of the command center positioning there by MVP, it's less likely he would fly that down to his aggressive third, I should say, as it will probably go over more to the macro-focused third here, so that he can continue to move on into a game where he feels stable. He feels so into the late game against any opponent. He's the game genie Terran.
That's right, he is. As these two Hellions do poke forward, encounter the Queen. Stephano looking for... Where is he going with these Zerglings? Does he go counterattack? Does he look to come behind the Hellions? He may try to get us around here. He jumps on top of these, and he gets one, almost both of them. Stephano looking for an easy grab there.
Great reaction times there by MVP. He does end up picking off one right next to that palm tree. And then from that point on, Stephano now just getting out of that supply block a little bit. 1-1 is on the way. But he's shut down the Hellion aggression completely.
We do see double barracks, though, instead of double engineering base. So just a switch of the order of MVP's build. The double barracks will allow his marine production to be a lot faster in this game to prevent any aggression from Stephano coming around the 10-minute mark. MVP is going to be ready, and it also allows MVP to start to get a bit aggressive himself, rather than sitting back, being a little bit passive, waiting on his upgrades. Look at the Hellion count. The Hellion count is quite big, marine production's going down, and with the use of the reactors early, we're actually seeing MVP move his command center faster than any other Terran player has done so far in this tournament. He's going to go take his third base, and he will use that early reactor, the early marines, to make sure it's defended.
And it's that macro focus once again from him, taking this third base up to the top right, as we previously said. Leia is on the way now here for Stephano, whilst macro hatch goes down as well, so he's going to be playing a very heavy Ling Bane style here, really kind of getting up to those big lava numbers that he needs with macro hatches all across the 3 bases.
And game number 1 is going to be a long, drawn-out game. Both players playing very macro-oriented in this first map on Belshir Vestige, and Stephano spots that the third is about to be taken here, and will most likely just drone a little bit towards his third base, and then very shortly throw down the Spire. The Spire is going to offer him the option to start to get the Mutalisk out there, to start doing harassment. MVP loses a single Hellion, doesn't lose more than that. It's okay, I mean, well, it's not really, but it's not detrimental to his game that he has lost a single Hellion there.
The way in which Stephano is actually focused, or at least distributed his lava between drones and Zerglings, to have that many Zerglings out in the middle of the field right now, to deny MVP from even doing any damage to creep tumors or anything like that with Hellions, is really, really impressive by Stephano, because now his creep spread is phenomenal here at the 10-minute mark.
And not just his creep spread, his overlord as well. On the left-hand side to this Zergling, that will spot for any drops coming that way, and there's more further down left, but hold that thought, I'll come back to it in a minute. As Lings do make their way to this third base, there should be enough Marines. It's
gonna close. That one mine did actually kill off quite a lot of those Zerglings that were trying to get into position to wrap around those Hellions. So he does clean up this up for now. MVP, with a pretty good trade, gets the kill on a bunker though, so not too bad.
Yeah, I'd say that was a fairly equal trade. You know, Lings went down, likewise did a few Marines and a couple of Hellions, pretty equal. But as I was saying, there's overlords on the right-hand side of this map as well, spotting for drops. Left and right-hand side. This is going to be very important because Medivacs are about to grace the field. And when they start coming out, that's when we're going to see quite a lot of aggression from MVP. But I want to point out one thing. The armory is actually late. This is a mistake from MVP because his 1-1 upgrades have completed, but he isn't able to rush straight into 2-2 like we're able to see Stephano do.
Yeah, and I mean, I've got to come back also to the creep spread of Stephano again. It shows that he is packing no punches here. He actually absolutely wants to focus 100% here. He's going to bring his A game, and the creep spread shows it. And he's even tweeting at us.
Stephano tweeted, looks like before the finals begun, it is time, boys and girls. Grand final starting now. Here, of course, on the stream you are very watching. I will try to defend Europe. And, well, he'll try, but he is going up against one of the best StarCraft 2 players overall we've ever seen.
And he's getting Burrow here, so we may end up seeing Burrow Banelings across this area.
It is, I got to bring up your point. Creep spread
it's
is fantastic, it's incredible. It's all over the place, and this will allow Stephano to see units coming in from what direction early. If he's able to borrow Banelings in the right pathways on a map that is so narrow, there's so many choke points. Granted, there's multiple choke points, but if Stephano finds the right pathways and chooses, more importantly, the right ones, we're going to see some explosions.
We are. He's really going into this very, very prepared and very, very focused. Burrow is going to finish up in just a second. He's getting a few more Mutalisks out here to accompany his 9 that are already out on the field, preparing spine walls at that 4th base, grabbing himself a 5th, and he can take these bases as freely as he wants to because of the vision he has, because of the Overlords, because of the creep.
And Stephano now throws down the Infestation Pit, looking to get up to Ultraless ASAP. On the other hand, though, 3 extra barracks come down for MVP, who's already at 172 supply.
Wow.
Incredibly fast. It's only the 14-minute mark. And he's thrown down a second factory. This will be to get a tech lab and a drilling claws to make sure his Widow Mines will be as effective as humanly possible.
And there's a drop heading out over to the right-hand side. I could only imagine that it is MVP, and he may end up going for a drop over to the right as well, left as well. But so many Zerglings and Banelings going to greet that.
ready for this. Look at this.
So ready.
It may not even reach the main base here. The Mutalisks are coming in hot pursuit. Let's see if he's able to get it.
Yeah, I think this is going to be bye-bye to that poor medevac. There you go, a great pick-off there for Stephano to kick things off in game number 1.
He is a little bit supply blocked here at 170 supply, and here comes the first movement out. Another drop I can see on the minimap on the left-hand side. MVP coming in from 2 sides. Left-hand side looking for that 5th base, and now we're about to see the main attack on the right-hand side. Are there any borrowed Banelings yet? There are not.
In essence, this is where the game begins, guys. This is where MVP starts to drop here and there, tries to go for the pressure down the right-hand side whilst dropping over to the left. And MVP now, he's clearing up a good amount of creep, actually. So that is a very good move for him.
Stephano's coming in from 2 sides. He's coming in from the north and the south there. He's coming in to clap this army.
Oh, he's going to catch a lot of it up. A lot of Banelings actually do connect to the bottom there as well. And the Widow Mines actually die off during all of that. He's forced to retreat with those Marines at the back. Army supplies 71 to Stephano to 87 for MVP.
Stephano makes expand, then defends it over here, Kalaris. That right-hand side is protected. 12 Marines per cycle. 2-2 about to finish. If MVP had been sharper on the armory earlier, that 2-2 would have been completed there. And here comes the borrowed Baneling movement from Stephano, hoping that MVP's next movement will come from this direction, and he'll get a good blow. The thing is that MVP will scan ahead of time to get rid of creep, so that's something we have to keep in consideration.
True, yeah.
But Stephano getting his 3-3 upgrade. The Ultraless Cavern should come down any second now. He'll want to jump over to that tech as soon as possible to make sure he can combat MVP's later army.
And he's looking to try and put on some pressure here at this command center. Does force the cancellation. A very, very nice move there. Really going to stunt the... Whoa, those 2 Banelings. Oh, he jumps the scan and does end up killing them off anyway. You are completely right about that creep spread that he has to clean up. And a contamination even on that command, on that engineering bay, really limiting those upgrades. MVP for now pushes the Mutalisks away and establishes himself a really good spot with those Widow Mines.
Yeah, the Ultra's coming a little bit later than normal, but it looks like we are going to see MVP drop into the main base and then try to defend, or try to attack and assault and bring down this 4. 3 spines, a bunch of Lings and Banelings. This drop in the main base is going to be annoying. The Mutalisks need to target over here.
Those 3 spines were really a perfect amount there to keep him just kind of sturdy at that base.
MVP knows this is going to die, and he pulls the army back while moving in forward towards his 4th base, but 3 spines is really buying enough time for Stephano to deal with this.
And that drop over to the left as well, so MVP trying to string his opponent completely ragged here as those Zerglings try and run from either side, and one Baneling does end up connecting with some of those, and the Mutalisks try and fly on in as well here to help this out. Good Widow Mine connection. Will he have enough to actually deal with this? It looks like some of the Banelings do end up connecting from the back there, even killing some of the Widow Mines.
And now the mines are going to go fall down, and Stephano will clean that up, but at the same time, MVP is going to try and target this down. The Mutalisks are going over there immediately to try and prevent that 5th base from going down.
Great surround there. Kills off some more of the Marines that are actually trying to hit at the right-hand side. He needs to save this expansion, though. If he can keep that, 5-base economy alive and well, he's going to be in an okay spot. He kills off the medevac. The Marines are forced to retreat. A good defense once again by Stephano.
And Stephano, representing France and Europe, is going toe-to-toe at the moment with MVP. He has his Ultralist on the way out now. MVP still only making Marines, no Marauders. Without any Marauder production yet, he will get blindsided by this. And MVP trying to get a 4th base of his own now. He trying to play aggressive off 3 bases. It didn't work. And Stephano is playing up to expectation at the moment. Likewise, MVP, a great high skill. This is the highest skill we'll see here today. Both players Fantastic display.
Still the creep spread looking fantastic for Stephano. Still his vision on the map looking fantastic. With those 3 threes now on the way and the chitinous plating going down, those Ultralisks are going to be very, very formidable once they actually grace their presence on their map. And with this now, Stephano is still cleaning up little pokes and prods here and there. MVP trying to go for extra drops everywhere.
Stephano's seen it already. The Mutalisks are already on the way over. The great use of Stephano's Mutalisks in this game are really dealing with these drops. The +2 attack on them as well. The main thing now, though, is MVP needs a 4th. He needs Marauders. And without these units, Stephano will crush through with the Ultralisks that are about to be fully upgraded, which are already on the field here.
Stephano even tried to take up the 5th potential location of MVP, knowing that his creep spread was up there. He kills off another drop. Those Widowmines are buying him a lot of position, though, for MVP, so he can retreat back to those whilst he's pressuring this base. The Zerglings are just going to flood on in here. Those Widowmines are going to get some connections, but they kill off some Marines anyway, and the Ultralisks should be able to push them back.
And at the same time, as this drop happening, Stephano's found another drop, and he'll probably go into the main base to harass from this position too.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, MVP's getting into the main of Stephano, who doesn't have anything close at the moment.
Ultralisks, they have to kind of charge around the entirety of this map here to actually deal with that. Still not landed his 4th base, though, has MVP. Stephano here almost maxed out against the 167 supply of MVP.
In an ideal world, on that 4th base, Stephano should have borrowed a Zergling underneath it on the 4th base of MVP, but he hasn't had the opportunity to actually find that Zergling to do so. It's right there. It is really easy to do, but another drop falls down. MVP keeping the pressure up, but with 3 more Ultralisks about to join Belshir Vestige here, I don't think MVP's got it in him to win this game.
I don't think so. One of the Ultralisks actually leads the charge there to soak up a few of those Widowmines. Another drop over to the left for MVP. He's going to snipe out that hatchery. A great pickup there. He's trying to snipe out the 4th as well, but the Mutalisks, they have to be very careful. That's a lot of Widowmines. The Overseer helping out a lot as well. He cleans up all the Widowmines. 196 supply to 145.
Stephano's going to chase that planetary down.
Yeah, he really is. This is... Oh, they can't really defend that anymore. He has to cancel and try and lift it off somehow. Bring all this bio along. Oh, those... Oh, he drops the scan. He knows there's Burrow Banelings there. Fantastic move, but one of them connects anyway. He's going to lose the orbital command center in the end.
A big strike there for Stephano, bringing down his opponent's economy once again. MVP struggling to maintain the economy he needs to be able to support the production he needs to beat out Stephano in this game, who's chasing down another Medivac. And wow, what a game we have. Remember, this is game number 1 of a best of 7 here. The first player to get 4 wins will be taking home the title of the Europe Premier League season champion.
And the thing is, with that now, he's actually assaulting with these Mutalisks. MVP technically has his 4th base up and running in inverted commas, but I'm under the impression that Stephano is just going to try and pressure that eventually with his superior army count. And, well, those are the Ultralisks actually marching on, but he can't deal with that bio just yet.
Yeah, and Stephano with his +3 Mutalisks have entered the production area of MVP. Tech Labs, reactors, barracks are about to fall, including the main command center. Anything now can fall. MVP needs to come back here, unfortunately. And that will allow Stephano, if he spots this army, probably to move in with his Ultralisks to go snipe the 4th command center here. He knows that MVP is well out of position, and there comes the movement in. He's headed in one direction and one direction alone to prevent that 4th from mining.
And then from there, because MVP took his 3rd so early, he's going to have such little income once this expansion ends up falling. Oh, a good Widowmine connection on some of those Banelings, but the Planetary Fortress falls. GG for game number 1. Stephano takes the first game in this best of 7.